It's everywhere, isn't it? AI that can whip up a poem, paint a masterpiece, or have a chat that feels, well, human. But how on earth did we get here? How did we teach a machine to talk? In this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on the magic of generative AI.
You've probably seen these deepfakes floating around online. Maybe even that crazy viral one of Tom Cruise. It looks like magic. It feels totally real, but it's not. Not even close. It's cooked up entirely by an AI, and that brings up a huge question. In a world full of stuff this convincing, how do we know what's real anymore?
To really wrap our heads around this, let's look at a pretty strange case study from Harvard's famous computer science course, CS50. For years, students had this tradition of talking out their coding problems to a simple rubber duck, a silent buddy. But then, in 2023, the duck started talking back. So let's play a little game to see if you can spot the AI in action. Okay, take a close look at these two images. We've been told one of them was generated by an AI. So what do you think? Is it the person on the left or the one on the right? Go on, make your pick.
It's a trick question. The truth is, they were both made by an AI, which just goes to show you how ridiculously hard it's getting to tell the difference. Okay, so that's images. What about words on a page? All right, here we have two little essays about lunchtime. One was written by a real fifth grader and the other by an AI. Essay 1 talks about a yummy sandwich and how friends catch up. Essay 2 is more straightforward, kind of just a list of what's in the lunchbox. So, which one is the AI?
You guessed it. Or maybe you didn't. The AI wrote Essay 1. The clues are really subtle, but they're there. Yummy sandwich is just a little too generic, a bit cliché. And catch up on each other's day? That sounds more like an adult describing what a kid does. For now, we can still spot these little patterns, but they're getting harder and harder to see.
So how in the world did they get that duck to talk? And maybe the more important question is, how did they stop it from just giving students all the answers? Well, it all comes down to a new skill that's surprisingly simple but incredibly powerful. It's called prompt engineering. And you know, it's less like being a coder and a lot more like being a great movie director. You're not writing lines of code, you're just writing clear instructions, in plain English, telling the AI exactly who it should be and what it should do.
And get this is part of the actual instruction set they fed the AI. They literally, word for word, told it, "You are a friendly and supportive teaching assistant for CS50. You are also a rubber duck." That one simple sentence is the reason it adds a little quack to its answers. It's amazing. So the whole thing really just breaks down into 4 simple steps. First, there's the system prompt, which gives the AI its personality. Second, you add the user prompt. That's the question from the human. Third, you send both of those to the AI through something called an API, which is really just like a digital bridge that lets 2 different programs talk to each other. And fourth, the AI sends its answer back. And just like that, the duck talks. Okay, so we're sending these prompts to an AI service. But what actually is that service? What's the engine running under the hood that's making all this happen? Well, it's something called a large language model, or for short, an LLM. An LLM has been fed a truly mind-boggling amount of text from all over the internet. But here is the absolute key, the one thing you need to remember. It doesn't understand any of it. It's not thinking. It's just a super advanced pattern-matching machine. All it's ever doing is predicting, based on probability, what the next most likely word should be in a sentence. That's it. And the speed at which this has all happened is just wild. Back in 2017, there was a big breakthrough that let AI understand how words relate to each other. Just 3 years later, we got the first really powerful GPT models. And then, at the end of 2022, ChatGPT was released to the public. And bam, the entire world changed practically overnight. To really get just how revolutionary this all is, we need to take a quick look at how AI used to be built. Before this new wave, it was all about one thing: rules. Lots and lots of rules.
So on one hand, you have the old way, rule-based AI. It's totally deterministic. A programmer has to sit down and hand code every single possible move. If this happens, then do that. It's rigid. But modern machine learning, it's probabilistic. It's messy. You don't give it rules, you just flood it with data, and it figures out the patterns on its own. It can actually learn and adapt.
Now, a rules-based system, that works fine for a simple game like tic-tac-toe, where you can actually map out all 255,000 possible states. But for a game like chess, forget it. There are over 85 times billion possible board positions after just the first few moves. There's no way you can code for that. The machine has to learn on its own.
So how does it learn? Well, one way is through something called reinforcement learning. And the best way to think about it is teaching a robot to flip a pancake. The first time it tries, complete failure. Pancake on the floor. That's a punishment, a negative feedback. So it adjusts its strategy. The next flip is a little closer. That's a reward. And it just keeps doing this over and over and over, trial and error, getting feedback and adjusting until finally it nails the perfect flip.
But here's the thing. This learning process, it's not perfect. Remember, these models are just playing the odds, predicting the next word. They don't actually know if something is a fact. And this leads to a really strange and really important weakness.
It's called a hallucination. That's the term for when an AI serves up an answer that sounds completely plausible, but it's just plain wrong. It's either incorrect, nonsensical, or totally made up. And it's a natural side effect of a system that's built on probability instead of hard facts.
What's wild is that this idea isn't even new. Decades ago, the poet Shel Silverstein wrote about a perfect homework machine that can answer any question you put in it. But when he asked it what 9 plus 4 was, the machine answered 3. The machine worked perfectly, but the answer it gave was perfectly wrong.
Which kind of brings us all the way back to where we started. We are building these incredible machines that are learning from the vast, messy, and let's be honest, often incorrect world of human knowledge. They can create, they can help us, but they can also be wrong with a level of confidence that is unsettling. So as these tools get better and the line between what's real and what's fake gets blurrier, the real challenge isn't just asking the AI a question anymore. The new skill for all of us is learning how to question the answer.